the employee registration. Quickly come here and let's go back to the pages, and under normal circumstances over here you should actually have the link of the pages showing up over here. If you don't get it that way, then definitely it's in the address. So let's look down there in our left down corner. You realize there is something written there and you see a post over here. So the post is post 18, right? So that is post 18 of our page. But then I want to install a plugin that can easily help us to locate the page ID of a particular page. Quickly go back to plugin and we want to add new plugin. Guys, you see FormidablePro has sent us an update on the FormidablePro. So the best thing you just have to do is to click on updates and you have it done. Everything will change. The new changes that have come will actually take effect. Let's wait for a while for this update to be effected. Okay guys, now that our update is done, let's quickly go ahead and add a new plugin. So let's add new. Now let's type the name of the plugin that we want, and this time around we want a plugin that will display the page ID. So let's say reveal page ID. Okay, we have a lot of plugins that can do that for us, but we are interested in the first one. Okay, now that our plugin is installed, let's quickly activate it and let's go back to, guys, we have another update on this FormidablePro here too as well, but we will do that update later. We quickly want to go ahead to pages and let's look over here. We now have the IDs being displayed over here. So which page are we interested in? We are interested in the registration page, which is ID 18. Let's go back to our view and say when you click on the edit link, we want to be taken to page 18. Quickly, that's fine. Let's update this and see our progress, guys. Okay, after the update, let's just go. Let's come back to employee registration page and let's scroll down still. Exactly. So guys, you can see what's going on here. We have the header here which displays the row number that we've not yet provided a shortcode for it to start numbering for us. We have the pictures and it's coming up because we said it should be a small picture, and we have the employee name, admin John Doe, designation admin, contract full-time, phone number, and the edit link over here. Okay, so let's quickly work on the rest of the view that we started creating. So now we are done with this content. Now we need an after content. The after content is going to close our table for us first, and then if there's any extra information that we want to show up after the table. So the next thing we want to do is we quickly go back to the code that I provided for you, and let's close this table first. If you don't close it, the table is still going to be below over there. So what we want to do is let's quickly paste this short code here. The table body is closed now. The table body is closed now, and now we are ending the table to over here. Let's use the next code before we update anything. Quickly, the last code but not the least. Here it's our star that we want to use. Guys, what I'm trying to do over here is that I'm just providing a small star sheet, okay, for our page search bar over here, so that it shows in a nicer way. Okay, not a nicer, but then we want to actually see the difference between this and this perhaps. So quickly, this code that we've shared over here, let's update everything. In our registration display form, let's quickly do this, and guys, you can see how nice this search bar looks now. You can decide on your own color if you want. You can decide on your own color if you want. So the next thing we want to do now is to show how these numbers are being displayed. Right now you can even see the table displays on top of this footer now, or this widget over here. Now we have our page table here. Now let's quickly work on the number rows. What we do is, I still have a code for you guys, you know I always got your back. So we have a small code over here that I'm going to explain to you when we get to where we are supposed to be. And this code, let's quickly say we want this code in the function.php. Guys, I've shown you how you can access that. You quickly come to appearance, come to theme editor, and you only have to know how to handle this before you come here, guys. Other than that, you do it through your charge theme. Let's quickly click on theme function, and right below, I like pasting it right below so that if there's any problem you can quickly erase it out. So what you want to do is to paste it. Okay, copy and paste job. Now what are we doing? We are adding a filter, just as we added a filter the last time to create our form registration row, user rows. We are still adding a filter here on the form display. Okay, the entries on the views that we are showing up. And what are we trying to do? We are getting the row numbers of that particular view that we are displaying. Now the row number is what we have created a function for over here. So this is the function of this, right? So we are defining this through this particular function that we are creating under over here. So on the function, we have these parameters for the function where it will get a new content entry, the shortcode, and display everything for us. So now if display, this display is talking about the view. Okay guys, this is talking about the view, and this view, which view are we talking about? You need a particular number for the view. Let's quickly go back to our view and trace the view number of this particular view that we started creating. To actually get a view number is very easy. Quickly come to view shortcode and show over here, and you know we are dealing with 27, the ID 27. Let's quickly change that. It's no more 48 but now 27. And what are we trying to do? As soon as you see this view, all this PHP code is going to help you actually create a new number row for your table. So this PHP code is just to create a new number row for the entries in the table, and at the end of the day we want to return the new content that we've actually gotten from this particular hook that we are using. The next thing we want to do is to update this file, and it's successfully edited. And let's quickly go back to our form registration view page and let's refresh this page. Okay guys, you can see we have number 1 here, number 2 here. Let's quickly have a look at something here. Our edit link is still not showing up. There is just one single explanation for that. Reason being that we need to actually give a permission to this form to be displayed on the front end. And how do we do that? Let's quickly go back to our forms. Now I think we've been able to create a view. We want to leave this page. Guys, we have some few parameters over here. This is just to limit the number of entries you want to show in your view, and this is to actually limit the number of entries you want to show on your page, and this is what we call a pagination. Okay, and this is a limit. In my SQL query, it's a limit query, and this is actually a front end something that we are doing here. And here we have the order in which you want the entries to be displayed. So let's quickly add an order. You want the entry ID to be in an ascending order, no problem. So do you want to filter this particular entry based on a particular information over here? I'm not sure you want to do that. Is there anything you want to show if there is no entry on this particular view? I'm also not sure. We want to maintain the default, no entry found. And this is the key of the particular view that we are creating. So you can change the key to be anything and use it later in something else. In our advanced sessions, I'll be showing you how all these things are being played out. So quickly, let's update this page and let's go back to the form builder settings and let's look at what I'm talking about here. So we want to give a permission to this link to be showing over here, and on the form, let's go to form permission. And form permission, do we want to limit the visibility? No. We want to limit the number of entries? No. But we want to allow front-end editing. That's cool. So the front-end editing, it's now ticked, which means everything should work perfectly now. But now, how do you want the front-end editing to work? Do you want to show it to login users? Yes. Which role do you require to edit somebody's entry. I think that should be an administrator. Alright, so which means you can only edit your own entry, but then you can't edit any other person's entry unless of course you are an administrator. We don't need any of these things over here. Let's quickly update this form, and now after the updates, let's reload this form by refreshing, and guys, you can see this edit record over here. This was the exact thing that we created somewhere around the view that we were creating. Let's quickly go to the edit record, and the designation is now a teacher. Let's change it to be a secretary. Let's update this form to see if everything is in order. And who is a teacher here? We have the secretary. Okay, so the submission has been done successfully. Let's now go to our employee view. Yes guys, you can see we have the secretary over here now. Alright, so if you click on edit this record too and you go back there, you are still going to see your changes being effected. Now let's try and search through the table to see if we will have a record being filtered. So let's say for instance you are looking for part-time. Let's quickly go to the search and type part-time. You can see this is already being filtered for us. When you go back, you see nothing. And let's say you are looking for a record that is though. Let's say though, we should have two records here saying though. Actually you can see what is being filtered over here, but now we want to enter a new last record for this particular form and see if we have everything displayed. This time around, let's create a headmaster, under which contract is a full-time headmaster, gender is a male, and a name should be just Francis. Date of birth, let's select any date at all for this Francis 92, and any date guys, any date. Francis was born in Accra. Which nationality? Ghana. Religion? Christian. Address? Accra. Let's still say Accra. Home address? Accra. Phone number, let's use this and change the last one. Email, let's use this and change this to Francis or FR. School attended, let's say he attended Legon. Qualification, has PhD and a course of area of administration of business admin. Year of completion, completed in 2018. Do you want this to be a user? Guys, remember this. If you say yes, you're going to create the things over here, but today you want to say no, and let's submit this. Our submission is now a success. So quickly, let's view this page. Alright guys, you can see we have a new person, Francis, a headmaster, full-time. This is the number and this is the edit record link. So guys, I think we've come to the end of how to create a view, and I believe we've successfully achieved that. And keep practicing. In the next section I'll see you for some cool stuff. Stay safe. Bye.